You cut him, the $29.5 million goes up to $30 million. It's a $500,000 cap hit. So you still have $40 million minus $500,000.
I don't know. I don't know. If that's the case, I'm surprised that nobody like Dave Burkett would have reported that.
Because we're talking about everything being accelerated the second you trade him. All that signing bonus comes up at one time.
Only the signing bonus is accelerated, the $30 million. And you already have a cap hit of $29.5 million.
I don't know, Tom. I mean, that's again, we get back to it because then it becomes a no-brainer. It's not a cap hit at all, and I can't imagine. I can't imagine that that's the case. 248-539-9797. I opened the show, remember, and I said the NFL salary cap is a complicated beast.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff is in Washington Township. Hi, Jeff.
Oh, hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
So, all right, I just want everybody to take a deep breath here a little bit. And I know it's not a popular decision, but Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in a Lions uniform that I have ever seen. Now, I'm not saying he's the best quarterback ever. He's the best quarterback the Lions have ever had.
I'll agree with that.
And I don't trust the Lions to develop and build and go draft another quarterback. We're going to be looking at another 6-7 years once we do get a quarterback, and if it's the right one.
If you don't trust them to find a quarterback and develop them, then why are you trusting them to? Why are you trusting that Stafford's going to get better?
Yeah. Okay. Well, point well taken. I'll give you that. You're right. But I want to focus a little bit more on. Let's look at what he's had. Okay. If all his weapons are gone, when you really think about it, Calvin Johnson's gone. He's never had a good running game. When he did have a good run game, when we had Job at best, the team really excelled pretty decently, I thought. The offensive line, it's really been about 2 years since he's had a decent offensive line. Been running for his life before that. Now, granted, they haven't been playing well. The tight end, I would argue that there could be an argument we gave up on Ebron too soon. But the point is he hasn't had a lot of weapons to do things. And the screener said to me, well, when Johnson was here, what did he do? Well, they made the playoffs. I don't know. They didn't do well, but they made the playoffs. I mean, I think everybody's like thinking that we're going to get a silver bullet or find a silver bullet by getting rid of Stafford.
Well, Jeff, I guess you know what? The way I look at it is the following. I tend to agree with you more than I disagree with you. However, everything the Lions have tried when Stafford's here, none of it has worked. So maybe you just go for the reboot. I tend to agree, too. People don't realize how tough it is to find a quarterback better than Matthew Stafford. I haven't done it in a long time, but I remember I went back and I looked at like 10 drafts, and you could count out of the 10 drafts, the previous 10 drafts, that there were like 3 quarterbacks that would be in a conversation of being better than Matthew Stafford taken in the first round, which is what, it's tough. It's really, really tough.
I mean, look at Mahomes. Did people? I mean, I don't know if everybody expected Mahomes to be as good as he has been. I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
If they expected that, he would have gone in the top 10.
Exactly. And
I thought they had high expectations for him, but
but still, my point is that it's so hard to get one of those quarterbacks that is going to run the team and they're going to drive to championships within 2-3 years. It's hard, and I think we have that with Stafford. I just think the team just needs to just stop screwing around with the offensive coordinators. I mean, get a good one. Stop screwing around with the coaching. Just start. There's got to be consistency. Consistency is the key. That's just my point.
Jeff, thank you. I more agree with you than disagree with you, and Mahomes, by the way, went exactly 10th. Gator, I mentioned some Big Ten stuff. You sound disappointed. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think that the thing is now that it's a different league and players are getting a chance to show what they've got, and I like the idea of getting a bunch of high draft picks. This is why I got excited last year thinking about, I'm not a huge Cleveland Brown fan by any means, but Cleveland had all these assets at their disposal of high draft picks. And I was just, last year when we got into the draft, I was thinking about, my God, how great would it be to be the Cleveland Browns GM right now, because you've had high picks for the last couple of years. Some of those are going to hit, like Myles Garrett obviously is really good. I think they like Jabril Peppers and his potential. But then they go ahead and they draft Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb, and they draft some defensive players as well. And they have high picks. And then they're going to have reasonably high pick again this upcoming season. It's exciting when you get a nucleus of young players that can be really, really good. So the prospects of trading Stafford and thinking that you can get 2 top 10 picks in the upcoming draft. You'd suck next year. You'd have a top 5 pick in 2020 and maybe another one depending on what you get in return for Stafford. Yeah, I get a little excited about that. And the thought that, is it hard to hit on a quarterback? Sure it is. But I don't think it's as hard as it used to be.
What does players are getting a shot to show what they got means?
Well, it feels like now, because it's such a passing league, that you're thrown to the fire and you've got this opportunity in front of you there where you're throwing the ball a lot early on. And that's what these guys are there to do, as opposed to...
So you mean young quarterbacks are getting a chance to play?
Because we're seeing guys like Jared Goff and Carson Wentz and obviously Mahomes, and Baker Mayfield's getting his chance. There's a bunch of young quarterbacks that are 3 years into the league that are really making the mark right now. And I think that it's showing that it's not easy to find the right guy, but it's not as difficult as it has been in the past.
All right, I mentioned some college football news. A couple things here brewing on the Twitter this morning. Bruce Feldman, college football writer, insider, who writes for, who's he with now? I know he does work for the Big Ten Network, Fox, FS1. He's with The Athletic as far as a writer. He wrote... I literally just lost the tweet. He said, today is a big day for Purdue and Louisville and Jeff Brohm. So apparently we can expect news on what Jeff Brohm decides to do.
Yeah, apparently Brohm met with Louisville brass yesterday. And obviously Louisville would love to bring him back. He's from Louisville, went to Louisville. And there's a lot of reason why they think that they have a good chance of landing him. However, Purdue likes him too. And you're talking Big Ten versus Louisville football.
Feldman added, folks inside Purdue felt good over the weekend about the prospect of Brohm staying. We'll find out soon. I'd stay, but here's the thing. I'm not a Louisville native who played quarterback for Louisville. So, I think the Big Ten West... If you're going to have a job and trying to build a program in a Power 5 division, Big Ten West is a good one to be trying to build a program in. You've got right now guys trying to build programs. You've established Wisconsin, down year. Established Iowa, down year. You got P.J. Fleck. You've got Scott Frost. And you got Jeff Brohm, all trying to gain footing. You got Pat Fitzgerald, who just... smokes and mirrors his way to the top of the Big Ten West every year. But the Big Ten West is a good place to be. Big Ten East, not a good place to be to build a program. You've got 4 pretty good established programs, and then you've got Indiana, Rutgers, and Maryland. Tougher to break through there. But if I were Jeff Brohm, I'd stay at Purdue.
Well, if he goes to Louisville, you're going to a Power 5 conference.
Yep.
But you're also going to a division that features Clemson, Boston College, Florida State, Syracuse feels pretty good about themselves lately. I mean, it's not an easy division to go to, but it's also Power 5, so it's comparable.
The other thing is that College Football Home on Twitter is doing potential landing spots for Khalil Tate. If you don't know who Khalil Tate is, he is the Denard Robinson-esque quarterback at Arizona. And the potential landing spots include Auburn, Miami, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, TCU, UCLA, and Illinois. I'd love to see him at Illinois. Love to see him at Illinois.
Well, it'd be interesting to see him at Illinois, to have a little water bug around there like that. I've seen him play a lot. I think he's a Denard light. But he's had some injuries he had to deal with this year, so he was not as effective as what he was coming into the season. I think coming into the season, he had a lot of fanfare, and he didn't really live up to that. There's a couple of interesting transfer potentials. They get the kid from Clemson who left, Kelly Bryant. Where is he going to go? I mean, that's a really good quarterback right there.